Hello, Andy. Here just to run through those movements we went through the other day with you. So it is the cat-cow variants. Yeah, so we did ones that targeted the lower back and one also that targeted the thoracic and a sort of migration of movement up from the lumbar through the thoracic spine. The principle of these is to try and segment the spine. So you're looking to move through as many individual vertebrae as you can. You know, in an ideal world, your back will move with strength through 24 different points through the back, yeah, rather than just having mobility in 2 or 3 different spots. So when you go through these, really do place your mind's eye at the point you're trying to move. Don't think of it as being lumbar, thoracic, you know, cervical, and you can move once through those. Try and move smoothly through all 3. Okay, so first one we went through was just your basic cat-cow. So that's full flexion and extension of the back. So as you look down, you pull the belly in, you tuck your chin, you tuck your tailbone. And I'm pushing into the floor with my hands as well. Yeah, so as I push into the ground, that just accentuates that dish-like shape as I tuck my tail. And as I look up, my tailbone points up, my ribs try and raise to the front, and my head lifts as well. I'm trying to pull my rib cage up and forwards, yeah? And the muscles that do that are in my spine. Then as you look down again, you push away with your hands. And as you look up, try and pull your hands in towards your knees, creating that little bit more tension. Okay, a bit more activation through the extension phase. Do 5 slow and controlled repetitions. And then you go down into just focusing on your lumbar. So with the lumbar, it's down onto your forearms. You tuck your head and round off the thoracic spine. From here, I'm going to focus on just this small portion of my lower back by trying to push my tailbone up to the ceiling, hold for 10 seconds. And then slowly trying to tuck the tail between my legs and round off. Yeah, so I push up, engaging those muscles in my lower back, trying to keep my shoulders and my head still. And then rounding off, pulling the abdominals in and sloping off that lumbar spine. Now, if you hold each one in the extension phase for 10, 15 seconds and do 3 or 4 repetitions of those. Okay. Then it's going to go through the thoracic extension. So you sit back onto your heels with your hands just in front of your knees. Remember to chuck a roller or a cushion under your ankles if your feet are uncomfortable in that position. Okay. From there, you start with that fully rounded flexion phase again, pulling the tummy in, trying to tuck the tail. And then you're going to start with the lumbar. So my upper back and my head remain fixed in place. And I start with that lower back, pushing my tailbone up. And then you can see that extension slowly coming up through the body, through the back, until at the end, I'm lifting my head as well. And then you're going to try and reverse that. Head goes, the shoulders go round, the back just starts to go into that fully rounded position. Then you can see that lower back going as well as it starts to then push out into that full flexion. So this is the one where you're really thinking about each individual vertebrae as they move back and forth. And again, you do up to 5 very slow and controlled repetitions. If you wanted to, you can hold that fully extended portion. And try and think of the muscles working, especially in that big thoracic section of that spine, picturing them pulling the ribs upwards. Okay? So those are the 3 variants on your flexion and extension drills. What other movements did we go through? Oh yeah, your hip bridge, peel and spread hip bridge, and then also that little kind of pretzel stretch for the sciatica. So with the hip bridge, the only addition that we sort of added to this was trying again to segment the spine, separate the spine on the way up and the way down. So If you start by pushing the belly forwards, creating a space in the lower back, then you draw in, pushing the back down to the floor, and then you begin to peel your spine off, clenching your bum and drawing in the belly. Then on the way down, I'm spreading one vertebrae at a time down to the floor until I get to my sacrum, where again I gently rock forwards, draw back in, and begin that peel off again, squeezing the bum as you lift. Slowly down and repeat. Trying not to miss a single vertebrae on the way up or on the way down. Very difficult in the lower back. You will no doubt sort of skip a couple on the way down, but just put the emphasis there, get that core control in. Okay, 5 repetitions will be enough again. Between 45 seconds to 90 seconds worth of contraction time, that sort of muscular endurance phase. Okay, from there, you'll stretch for your bum, for that piriformis, that hip complex. You're going to cross your right leg over on, left leg over on top of your right. You're going to crunch up, grab hold of that right knee and flatten yourself down. From there, right hand slides to the left ankle and you pull, increasing the angle felt on my left glute, yeah? So my left side is being stretched as I pull in. I'm trying to keep my knees stacked in line with my sternum so it stays in the midline, and I'm pulling them in close. Now, if you're sitting in here for a long period of time, sitting in here for a couple of minutes, what you can do is rest your foot up against a sofa or a bed or a chair so that when I slide across and pull in, I can relax more easily. I can take those deep breaths and concentrate on the stretch instead. Okay, and then you just reverse that obviously for the other side. And then I would also do your hamstrings, Andy. So a good hamstring stretch as well. And for that, what I really want you to do is you stand up. Move that. Bring your heel up on top of the chair. And then it's all about the pelvic tilt to really hit those hamstrings correctly. So don't worry about completely locking that knee out. It can stay slightly soft. But I want you to face forward, down that leg. And I want you to lead with your hips as you push your bum back, tilting that pelvis and bow forwards. And that's all you need to really feel it then in the body of that hamstring. Hold and breathe. If it's uncomfortable here, have something to rest on as well whilst you're in this position, and just sit and lengthen through that hamstring again from 2 to 2.5 minutes long on each side. Ensure your back stays straight. Try not to sacrifice that pelvic position. Just try and extend through the spine as you bow in. Okay. If you've got any questions with these, just give us a call and we'll go through them. All right. All the best, Andy, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.